particularly in the lower denture where you've got a tongue and cheeks that are flipping those things around. You put a couple of implants on with an attachment called a locator, and it's just, they lock them down solid, and they're wonderful to wear and use.
Well, that sounds good. So there's nothing to really worry about them then.
The only things that would cause you a problem is if there is not enough bone, if there has been a reason that the bone has deteriorated to a point where that can't be accomplished, or if there are health considerations that won't allow that to happen, and all of those things have to be evaluated.
I see. Okay, thanks a lot.
Thanks, Pat.
You're
Thanks
welcome.
for calling in.
Bye-bye.
We're going to jump to another quick caller. Max from Boise. What's going on?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Dr. Poole, you sound like a very well-traveled and educated man, and I'd like to have your take on the healthcare system in other countries, especially like Japan, that with their dental program, and the single payer. How do they handle the dental end of things?
That's kind of an interesting point. I had a son that lived over there, so I made a trip to Japan here back in 2005, I believe it was. We get a lot of dental products. They're very scientifically oriented, and they produce a lot of very good dental science and materials that we use. But I was amazed in getting over there. Their dental health in that area is not as good as what I would have expected.
Huh.
I ran into a lot of situations on the commuter trains and things like this that just really shocked me because they pack you in there pretty tight. And
Yes,
I'll tell
they do.
you,
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah.
breath problems and the orthodontic problems, tremendous orthodontic issues.
Do you think that has anything to do with the type of insurance and how that works over there? Or
It could be.
Or I wonder if it's just, some cultures, it's not as
it's just not an important thing to them, and I would have to do some more research in that particular area. Now, there are other areas in the world. Germany has a very good high standard of dental care. I've seen some tremendous work come out of Italy and some of those areas. But
Dr. Poole, can I interrupt you for a second?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Well, but isn't that free health? Isn't that free dental care? I guess my point was, these systems in Switzerland, France, Germany, Great Britain, is that part of their national health care program? Is that dental care is included?
I would assume that you see a lot more over there. I really can't answer that from my knowledge base.
Canada, I think Canada, that's part of it too.
I know Canada has that kind of a program, and Britain, England does.
Yeah, I have the slightest idea.
But I don't know to what degree it involves. I know what they do on the, you hear what they do on the medical, but as far as that's dental,
and
I'm
even
not
the U.S.,
exactly sure.
Who knows how this shakedown and D.C. is gonna how dental is gonna be involved or not.
Yeah, we're still trying to get information out of the ADA, the American Dental Association, and some of the issues of how this new health care plan that our government's putting together is going to affect dentistry. We don't know.
Right.
I've heard it's going to hit health and welfare from the fees and things and some of the benefits that they have. It's going
in a good way or a bad way?
Probably not as good as what we want.
Well, like Dr. Poole said, they're taking some of your words there, Doctor. Your mouth is really the indicator of what your health is all about. So, I mean, if we skip your dental and you got bleeding gums and the starting heart disease and things, it might be money well spent preventively to have that part of the health care.
I would agree wholeheartedly with you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Max. Thanks for calling. Yeah, I mean, that's, we're talking about that, this whole insurance issue going on. A lot of people are talking about it and their dinner tables and with their friends because no one really knows what's going to happen. If you watch the news, it's like crazy politics, just highs and lows and what's this all going to mean? And this side says this is going to be better and this side says this is going to make it worse. And for the regular, person who's just trying to figure out how's this going to affect me and my family, because that's what their number one concern is who knows? It really does. I mean,
and it's all about access.
Yeah.
We're trying to get the best dental care that we can to the most people. And we're seeing some movements, even as close, some issues up in Alaska and some of those areas where they've tried to develop different delivery systems for dental care. And some of them are a little frightening.
Yeah.
Some of them are a little frightening.
All right. Good stuff. We're going to go to a quick break. This is the Recession Smackdown. When we get back, I'm going to be talking about, I'm going to ask Dr. Pools on his New Year's resolutions and going forward with his business and everything else. And you're going to hear some of mine. So tune in, and you can call in 336-3700. One last chance, 336-3700. We'll be right back.
Advice you need to prevail in today's economy. This is the Recession Smackdown with Mike Turner on News Talk 670 KBOI.
Okay, we're back. We just got a few minutes left in this show. This is the first one of the year. And, I have here, Dr. Poole, a dentist that's been in this area, this Treasure Valley area, which we're kind of located in for the last 30 years. So happy to have him here. I've actually been learning a ton about dentistry. I didn't even know. And that's just been a plus, because I also have had a chance to ask you about how your business is doing. And you've talked about, when you started, there was like 17 dentists in the area. Now there's, hundreds and hundreds, 300 to 400 or something like that. And so, before we go today, I want to ask you, so as a business owner, and somebody who's here locally in this valley, is there anything you kind of plan to do differently this year, or you kind of any kind of resolutions, or what do you got? What's in your future? What do you got planned?
Well, I'll tell you, 2009 was a great year for me.
Really?
It was actually one of my best years.
Woohoo! I'm going to write that down. Someone in 2009 had a great year.
The economy,
okay.
But I made some small changes in the business on how I operated things. In today's economy, like I was saying a little bit earlier, it used to be you could hang out your sign and do a little bit, and away you went. Our biggest ability to increase our business is by our internal referral list, people referring others to us and things of that nature. But with today's situation and lots of us being out there, you've got to have your name out there. And so I've got to do some things this year that will put my name out there a little bit better.
Right.
We try to work in the community. One of the biggest things we do is try to give community service, and we just finished that Scouting for Food drive.
Oh, yeah. Tell me about that again.
That came out 150,000 plus pounds for the council. I have the opportunity to work what we call the Bigfoot District over at, which is Nampa, Cuna, and Melba area.
Okay.
We pulled in 55,800 pounds of food.
Wow, just doing different food drives and things.
Well, with the Scouts. The Scouts go out door to door and do things like that. So we, as business owners, we have to get ourselves out in the community so that we're known.
I love that one. That works really well.
And that always is helpful. We got to give back to the community. And so that's one of the big issues that I think is very important. Along with that, we have, different forms of and areas to advertise in. And I'm going to, I think all of our dentists have to do that anymore. If they're going to make it, you've got to have your name out and get known.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we got time for another call. Let's jump to it real quick.
Okay.
Jean in Nampa.
Yeah. Hi, Dr. Poole. You know me.
I do.
I called to say that I think Dr. Poole's a wonderful dentist and a wonderful man.
All right.
Well, thank
and you ought to have him sing for you, because he sings to his patients.
Woo!
So have him sing you a song.
Yeah. Oh, all right.
Okay. Bye, Dr. Poole.
Thank you.
Bye.
What's this
Happy
all
New Year.
about?
What's this?
Is this some kind of hidden,
Well, this is my alternative personality. I've always been kind of an entertaining, oriented guy.
Yeah.
My wife and I sang with a group called the Majors and Minors in Nampa, which is now not working, but we sang with them for 25 years.
Wow.
And
so you've been known to alongside the
yeah, I sing along with the radio. We have the radio playing, and I'll sing along. I love Christmas music. That's my favorite time of the year. So.
Wow. Well, I think that's very endearing, because not every dentist does that. That can be calming, as long as you're good, right?
As long as you have good music.
Yeah.
There is music out there that can excite you more than it can do good.
Well, good. I'm so glad you were able to come by and share your business and your industry with us.